Hi, friends. It's Teresa here, back with another What I Track from my Give Me Fives Wellness Tracker. Today, we're going to talk about food. So, in this tracker, it is set up to work with how what I was doing when I was following UWL and sort of what I'm doing now. Um, I didn't track calories. I don't track calories. I don't track macros, although I am more concerned now about protein, and so I may track my protein numbers. But the way this particular tracker is set up, there's a space to write what you eat on any particular day. It's not a whole lot of space, and there's no place to put calories. I mean, you could put it in there on the side if you wanted to. It has, a meal number, and I just call them all meals, whether they're meals or snacks. And it looks like we have we have 4 spaces for meals if you eat more than that, or more often than that, which I have to do now because I can't eat as much. Let me know if you buy this tracker and you just need more space. I would be willing to consider making a little different format that would support you better. But for now, I just put in the meal number, the time of day that I ate it. I already have a place for like a self-talk, and so I don't do a food and mood sort of a thing with this. I just have 4 or 5 lines with each where you could write down what you eat. So if you were doing veggies for breakfast on the first meal, you could check had veggies for breakfast and then write down whatever it was. For me, when I do veggies for breakfast, it's usually like Brussels sprouts or green beans. And I would probably include how much, but we don't really measure measure or weigh things. So, but I truly believe, after all of the different diets that I've been on in my life, that how they say like 80 or 90% of the battle is in the kitchen. It's so true. Speaking as someone who I have a food addiction, and I know a lot of people think that that's not really a thing, but I've battled it long enough and still battle it, even though I've gone to some pretty extreme measures to not battle it, that it matters. And so there is a handy guide in the back that just talks about what that, if you're following a SOS-free plant-based diet, how you do that, what you can eat, and what you can do to enhance that, like sauces and spices and some of that. But it's important to know what you're eating. And I think the reason why I find this resource so valuable for me is when I was doing this, when I'm doing this consistently and I'm struggling, I can look back at the times when I wasn't struggling and see what I was doing differently. I can see what I was eating differently. I can see if the frequency of how often I ate or what time of day I ate made a difference. Like I could with any of the things in here. Was my self-talk worse? Was I not paying attention to my environment? There's so many different things. The benefit of this tool is that then you have it so you can see, and you do see the patterns. You see the patterns in it as you go through and you're struggling. And then you come out on the other side of it. You can go back and utilize that information to help change what you do going forward. And so I think it's really important for us to keep track of the time of day we eat, keep track of what we eat. Make a note if it's something that you particularly liked. Think, at the end of your day, or at the end of the month, if you noticed a pattern or whatever in how when you ate certain things you felt better, or your blood pressure was lower, or whatever it was, it's important to track it so you have that data. A bad day is just good data, as Chef AJ often says, makes a big difference.